If you haven't watched Brenda's story in part 1, go and watch that right now. Brenda has been able to track down one of the girls who drugged and robbed her, stole her money, and literally left her naked. It was a fantasy gone wrong. The girl has been tracked down to a dangerous neighborhood in Medellin. This could be Brenda's chance to confront her, but it was deemed too dangerous and was advised to leave the area by the Obiland team.
Plano 5, toma 1.
Brenda Contreras, the first female American scopolamine victim in Colombia to document her story.
Obiland had encouraged me to stay in Colombia and, alongside of them, try to track down this girl. And I wanted to, I really did. And I tried to stay and extend my stay as much as I can, but life doesn't allow you. I was no longer, had no money. I had to worry about my daughter, my future, my mom, my family. I had to go back home. And when I went back home, I wasn't sure if Obiland was gonna fully take on the case, but they did.
Unfortunately, with everything that had happened, resources running low, Brenda had no other option but to leave to the United States. She went back to New York. And that's when we, the Obiland team, we started ramping up our investigation. The plan was to, try and find these girls. And to find these girls, we had to take steps and processes required for us to do things in a legitimate manner. And one of those was to make a denuncia, which is a form of a police report.
The police report allowed the Obiland team to legitimately pursue the case.
It wasn't an easy process because here in Colombia, there's lots of, delays and bureaucracies, and, we had to wait hours, and our team documented the whole process.
The girls thought they had gotten away, that they wouldn't be held accountable and responsible for their actions, but they were wrong, as through the help of Brenda, the Obiland team was able to track one of them down into Comuna 7, Robledo, where the most dangerous criminal groups in Medellin can be found. We had tracked down one of the girls to an apartment building in the area, but decided against action due to the corrupt police and violent gangs in the neighborhood, and so we had a different strategy.
During this whole process, I remember feeling very calm, but with the sense of a burning fire inside me, rage. But I was calm because I knew that once the team decided to focus on this operation, that we were going to find her. On this mission, we were going to find the girls who were responsible for this, or at least one of the girls. Luckily, there was a popular YouTuber who was also present at the time when Brenda had met these girls, and he had some footage of them. So we were able to get that footage from the guy, and we had at least a face. We had a face, clear image of the girls who had committed this crime.
They may look innocent, but these are the faces of the kind of people who kidnapped and killed American tourist Tuzia Zhang in Robledo.
It was very difficult to track those girls because they had disappeared for months. I had my guys on it. But luckily, at one stage, I think about 2 months in, we spotted one of them on Bumble and then another one on another dating app.
The girl which we had spotted, the same girl responsible for drugging and robbing Brenda, who went under the names of Diana, Angelica, or Angie, was seen on various dating apps for very brief moments on Tinder, Bumble, Badoo, Colombian Cupid. She was always very quick to change her look and her image, possibly to confuse and entice victims, even sporting this dreadful wig.
Whenever we did find any of these girls, I shared links to my network.
As you can see from the various profile pictures of her on Tinder, she's going under the aliases of Diana or Angelica. Her speciality is traveling outside of Medellin to drug tourists.
They don't stay on these dating apps for a long time. They stay on there for maximum 2 or 3 days, even a day, and then they go incognito. In that time, guys are sending them messages of matches, so they make their matches, they make about 10 matches, and then they start the process of trying to have and initiate conversations with those guys that they meet with the intention of drugging and robbing them. Then they delete their profiles and re-upload in another city or at another time. So this is how they operate.
Of all the girls, she was a prolific offender on dating apps. She would normally commit her crime in other cities before escaping back to Medellin.
Using my method of exhausting the stack, that's where you make a specific search based on the age of that person and the location, and you exhaust the stack so that whenever a new person joins the dating app, they come to the top of the stack and they appear as a new user, so you don't need to keep on searching consistently.
And so the Obiland team continued with their strategy, gathering as much information as they could.
People think this stuff is easy, but it isn't. It isn't a quick, straightforward process. There's a methodology and a strategy that you've got to have when tracking down these girls. It's just not, you find them, because these individuals, these girls and these groups, they're very, very intelligent.
And so the Obiland team proceed with a plan.
I had sent like 10 agents to try and track down Diana because she was back in Cali, and she matched with none of them. And, I don't know the reasons why, but she matched with none of them. And they all sent her super likes, but she matched with none of them. Possibly she already had her victims or her targets that she had in mind.
With the predator not matching any of the agents, the team was left frustrated.
While she was in Cali, at the time back again, within a day or two after rejecting all my agents, she absolutely disappeared. We were frustrated. I was frustrated because this was the first time that we had seen her in months.
And so a new strategy had to be developed, a new way to bait these scopolamine queens.
This is when I started thinking about diversifying the bait which I present to possible scopolamine queens. And I started to incorporate more diverse backgrounds, ethnic backgrounds and people. I enlisted a Chinese guy, an Indian guy, and an Eastern European and a European guy. Let's be fair, not every scope queen wants to date or scope a black guy. They don't care who they do it to, but they're very strategic with, who they want to drug and rob. They look for a certain type of profile.
Successful, rich, a show-off, similar to the pictures on your screen. That was Piotr.
One day, Obi called me and tell me, "Hey, we have a big job, big scopolamine queen to catch. I have got all information from Obi, what we need to do."
And so, with constant perseverance, there seemed to be light at the end of the tunnel.
So, to my surprise, there was a break. We had managed to track down Diana to Medellin, and so I immediately put my guys on it.
She was spotted physically in El Centro in Medellin, but was not approached.
Somebody had told me that she was seen in some parts of Centro, around the Cascada area in Medellin, so we knew she was in Medellin.
With news that she was in Medellin, there was a chance that she could rear her head.
And then a couple of weeks later, she then hopped on Tinder in Medellin. I don't know why she did that, possibly because it was close to the Christmas period. She wanted to, gain some Christmas money or get a Christmas victim.
And so the new link to the predator's Tinder profile was then shared to the Obiland agents.
So I put my agents on that. The new agents enlisted, she rejected all of them apart from my Eastern European agent, Piotr. She seemed to have a liking to Piotr, possibly because of his profile. His profile, which is a fake profile, was very flashy. He was there standing next to a Porsche.
My profile was very successful, like Porsche, Ferrari, gold watches, good trips. So I think that's the reason she matched me.
And so Piotr now sends his first message, hoping to entice her. The predator has now turned into prey.
So what are you looking for on Tinder? Love, friendship, relationship, or you're an escort?
Whatever. Say, but I'm not an escort.
She is quick to mention that she's not an escort, a tactic normally used by scope queens to make their victims feel at ease.
They even write it on their profile. Soy no escort. I am not an escort. Depending on the gang, they tend to use exactly copy and paste the same wording on their profiles. So you may have 10 different girls, but with the same wording. It's the same wording because the gang are literally copying and pasting, and they have different mobile phones and telephone numbers which they use to facilitate and to operate these scams.
And so the conversation continues.
It seems like we're looking for the same thing. Let me give you my Colombian number.
Okay, that's fine. It's not a problem.
When she start text in the Tinder, she very fast take my WhatsApp number and start texting me on the WhatsApp number.
And I let Piotr lead the conversations. I was quite worried that he was going to mess things up because I'd been tracking this girl for months and months. And so I was really cautious and really, on top of the situation with Piotr as to how he interacts with this girl, ensuring that he doesn't say the wrong thing.
Good morning, my love. How are you? How are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm doing super okay. I'm just about to travel to Armenia. Do you know the place?
That's far. Yeah, I know that place. But are we going to see each other before your trip? Maybe we could see each other before you travel.
I'll be returning to Medellin on Monday.
Okay, that's good. Super.
The Obiland team had wanted to set up an encounter ASAP, but it seems as if the Pretty Face Scope Queen had other plans. We suspect that she really did travel to another city, but for work purposes. Her way of operating involves traveling outside of Medellin, finding a new victim, drugging and robbing them, before returning to her safe haven of Medellin, where she'll change her cell phone number.
And she talked to me, she back to me in Monday because she's traveling. That was Friday, that was really suspicious. And then she talked to me in Sunday, told me she, with a new number, told me she will be talk to me in Monday. And that was happened. She started to text with me in Monday.
I had to ensure that we don't say the wrong thing that scares this girl away, because with these people, if you say the wrong thing, they're gone.
Of course, I'll be very concerned about situation. She think I failed this mission, but I was sure I never fail any mission, and the mission was success.
So are we going to see each other tonight? Or are you tired?
Yeah, but at what time?
At 8:30, that will be fine.
Okay.
Okay, but let me know the place where we are going to meet.
And so earlier that evening, other agents working with the Obiland team meet up with Piotr to discuss a plan. It was agreed that the radius coverage for any activities should be limited to the Poblado area. From this location, the Obiland agents will be able to monitor events very closely. A quiet street in a quiet neighborhood was chosen.
We have two locations to catch her, and I choose one location was I thought was better. That was close Manila, is like close to is in El Poblado and Manila, close to Manila.
Okay, so we meet at 8:30.
Okay, baby. But how do you want me to dress? Do you want me to dress elegantly, or you prefer sportswear?
I always prefer elegant. Is that okay?
Okay, it's fine. It's no problem.
The conversation was really suspicious. She asked me if I live alone, where I live, which place, if this is apartment or hotel, and that was suspicious.
How many minutes before you get here?
I'll be there in 10 minutes.
And so, with the predator confirming that she'll be ready for Piotr within the next 10 minutes, the Obiland agents start getting ready, making final adjustments and a final preparation.
Because they think that they come in here to drug this guy. When they get in here, they're gonna have drinks, have a good time, try and scope him, but we're gonna be busting in, surprising them, and then, the police will come and hopefully they can make an arrest, because we've got the denuncia and everything that you need.
Meanwhile, in another apartment closer to the location, the Obiland agents wait anxiously. An agent is stationed outside the apartment where they expect the predator to meet with Piotr before heading to dinner. He is tasked with monitoring the area to see if the Pretty Face Scope Queen shows up with any accomplices. Piotr leaves the apartment and waits for Diana downstairs, notifying him that she was already there waiting, but this wasn't true. She had arrived 15 minutes later, parked down the street, outside the view of our cameras, dropped off by a white car with black tints.
I wait for her. She come white car with black window. I come down to take her, and we go to the restaurant La Repubblica.
La Repubblica, a quiet restaurant on Calle Diaz in Poblado, with a perfect vantage point for the Obiland agents to monitor proceedings.
When they went on a date, one of the instructions I gave to Piotr was, carry lots of cash, flash your cards, show your latest iPhone 15 or 16, whatever it is. Let them know that you're a good victim, and that's what he did.
Meanwhile, with Piotr in the restaurant with the Pretty Face Scopolamine Queen, the Obiland agents decide to follow the car which dropped her at the apartment. And they were right, it was an accomplice working with the predator, because this same car was spotted circling around the restaurant where Piotr and the girl were dining. The team followed the car but had to back off as it was getting suspicious. At that very same time, our guy is briefing the police as they listen intently.
Sí, ahí está la final. Sí, pero ustedes en lo mismo. Algo que sí les voy a decir. A veces esta chica se tiene sus bolsos.
Our guy continues the conversation with the police as they await Piotr to give feedback from the restaurant. Back to the restaurant, Obiland agents outside confirm all is fine.
Inside the restaurant, she was charming. She was asking me so many questions about what type of telephone I have, what computer I have, everything about the products and the money.
Say hello.
I was expecting maybe other type of girl, but the girl was really high class, beautiful. She was really sexy and charming. I was really careful to don't fail this mission, to don't say something bad in the restaurant, so I start charming her as well. She kissed me in this restaurant, so that was a good sign the mission will be a success.
The Obiland agents outside the restaurant survey the area diligently, keeping a low profile, avoiding being seen. Meanwhile, the agents responsible for detaining the predator are waiting patiently for Piotr's signal. Piotr then calls our guy and gives him a very surprising update.
In this restaurant, La Repubblica, we ordered food and we ordered drinks, and I was sure she tried to poison me in this restaurant. She poisoned me a little bit, not hard, but a little bit, because I start feeling 20 minutes later bad.
Be safe, don't drink nothing, don't eat nothing. Eat, but just be always watching her, that's all. Yeah?
I don't know how it happened, because I all the time watch of my food and drinks, but she poisoned me.
All right, we're literally like 30 seconds around the corner, so if anything, we're just gonna rush there. I'm gonna tell one of our guys to stand outside at the front. Yeah, police on standby.
Again, I was very worried that Piotr was gonna mess this up. I thought he was gonna fuck this up. Because Piotr, he doesn't even really speak good English. But he does what he could do. And he wanted to really be part of this project and part of the team and to really help us.
Worried that Piotr may have been drugged, our guy orders Piotr to leave the restaurant immediately with the girl.
Piotr and Diana, they then head back to the apartment. You know, our adrenaline was pumping. We were like, we were so excited. We had been chasing this girl for months.
I don't feeling good. I don't feeling good. And I open the apartment, I sit in the couch, and she see I am feeling worst, and she put her hand on my shoulder to calm me. I'll be more tranquilo, and then start order from Rappi because she want to drink tequila with me and poison me. I think poison me much more than I was.
Knowing the craziness that can happen in Colombia, while awaiting Piotr's signal, our guy says a quick prayer.
Dear Father God, please, I hope everything goes right, that there's no, issues, nothing, that goes wrong, and
We're gonna get this girl.
And we waited for Piotr to give us the signal. The signal was he was going to text an X to my telephone, and the X meant, come here right now.
We have a special signal when the team should go to the apartment on my signal. So I feel this is the moment, this is the time they must come in this apartment. So I send special signal.
With the special code received, the Obiland agents make their way to the apartment where the Pretty Face Scope Queen believes she has found another victim. Tensions are high, with lots of heavy breathing as the team prepare to breach the apartment. They are careful not to arouse any suspicion. There are 5 police officers stationed outside the apartment. 2 run inside to assist the Obiland team, while the other 3 stay stationed outside the apartment to guard against any potential accomplices.
The tactic that we decided to use was shock or no. We wanted to, when she's in the apartment, we wanted to go in there full force, surprise her, just in case she had anything on her. I mean, just 2 weeks ago, I had a girl pull out a knife on me.
And so finally, the Pretty Face Scopolamine Queen will meet justice.
I was on the ground, lay with she on the ground, and then she looked at me and asked me, "What's happening, honey?" And I don't know, baby, what's happening.
Párate. 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 Sit down. Sit down.
Diana was scared. She was just like, my goodness, what is happening? She was like, she was in fear. She didn't know who it was. She has drugged so many people and robbed so many people that she didn't know who it was.
The police inform her of why she had been arrested as she begins to plea. Looking through her bags, the agents are searching for any sedatives. And they find one. Clonazepam, used for treating anxiety disorders, but also acts as a long-lasting tranquilizer, producing a soothing effect on the brain and nerves. Quite simply, it will put you to sleep, and an overdose could kill you. It has quickly become the favorite medication among criminals and scopolamine queens in Colombia to subdue their victims. Making the news on several occasions, in Cali, Colombia, a scopolamine queen was busted with ungodly amounts of the sedative.
That's a bottle that I've seen over and over in my escapades of trying to track down scopolamine queens.
The police inform the predator why she has been arrested. She attempts to plead with the police officer. She keeps pleading with the police officer, attempting to entice him. Feeling ashamed, she looks back at Piotr for help.
In the meantime, I could see that she was trying to negotiate something with the police because she kept on giving the police signals, and the police seemed as if they were interested in hearing what her proposal was.
Abre el teléfono.
Un teléfono.
Sí, abre el teléfono. Con código, abre el teléfono.
To gather more evidence, the agents and the police demand that the predator unblock her telephone, but she pretends not to understand.
Ábrelo.
Sí, del 1 al 6. Les
Ábrelo.
She provides the code and the phone is unlocked.
Del 1 al 6.
She is horrified at what the agents and the police will find in her phone. The numerous victims and conversations with accomplices about potential victims, including describing Piotr as a wealthy foreigner who deserved to be robbed.
This is your home.
¿Este es tú? Sí.
This is your home.
The agents then show her video evidence of the night she drugged and robbed Brenda.
Remember, ladies? ¿Recuerdas a esta chica? ¿La recuerdas?
She tried to lie that she didn't know who Brenda was or have any recollection of the events of that night, but the evidence was overwhelming, with the agent showing her mountains of evidence, including placing her at the scene. She is the first girl with the black monastery baseball hat, now in the middle. Before switching to the left position, she may have tried to change her look, but she wasn't fooling none of us, and shortly she will admit to remembering Brenda and being at the scene.
Una chica americana.
Espera, ¿tú no recuerdas a Brenda? ¿Ah? ¿Tú no recuerdas a Brenda?
La va a recordar.
Brenda quiere saber por qué en Cali. ¿Por qué?
¿La recuerdas? ¿La recuerdas?
Sí, ahora sí.
Sí.
¿La
Pero
recuerdas?
por acompañar a mi amiga no tengo culpa.
¿No?
No.
Oh, ok. No, no tienes culpa. Estabas allí.
Estaba allí y ella sabe quién me invitó directamente.
Ok, a mí me vale madres.
Ella no me invitó a mí, ella invitó a mi amiga.
Que tú estás
Yo
allí.
fui.
Ella solo quiere saber por qué.
Sí, ellos invitaron a mi amiga y lo saben muy bien. Y ella sabe qué amiga mía invitó.
Sí, pero tú
Sí.
parte de este grupo también, ¿sí o no?
No.
No,
Por
entonces...
acompañarla no tengo culpa. Por acompañar a mi amiga no tengo culpa.
She tries to deflect responsibility on her accomplices, claiming that she was in the company of her friends and that she's not at fault.
Cédula. ¿Con quién trabajas?
Ah, no,
quién
ahí sí
trabajas?
te la estoy viendo porque yo no tengo información de ella. Yo que me voy a saber la cédula
¿Con
de
quién
ella.
trabajas?
¿Con quién?
She tries to play smart by withholding information about her accomplices, but we already know that information from her cell phone.
Mi cédula.
Sí, tu cédula.
Mi cédula.
Sí. Nombre, fucking name.
Hágale, mujer, colabora.
Amor, si está en el bolso. Yo...
Makes up all kinds of excuses regarding her identity card.
Mujer, vea, va para la fiscalía porque tiene una denuncia, ¿listo?
Sí, amor, yo me voy normal, pero simplemente le...
She is freaking out and providing the police with lame excuses.
Estoy relajada, le estoy diciendo a él. Yo estoy relajada.
¿Con quién trabajas?
No tengo documento de nadie.
quién
Sé que la
trabajas?
muchacha se llama Andrea. Se llama Andrea.
¿Cuál
Ya no soy amiga de ella.
El código.
Venga.
Y cambio de contraseña. Cambio de contraseña.
At this point, the police have had enough and want to take her in. It is unclear why, but they didn't want our cameras to keep rolling.
The police started getting a little bit frustrated and cautious with our cameras, and they kept on now trying to push us back and not wanting to speak with us. I think, you know, this was the phase which, you know, they started thinking we may be able to get something from this Diana girl more than an arrest.
And so they lead her outside the apartment, with the Obiland team following behind. The police say they want to take her away for further questioning. The predator is still pleading with police, claiming innocence, blaming her accomplices. She acknowledges Brenda got drugged, but it wasn't her fault. The police pressured the Obiland team to stop filming. As she is arrested, and taken away for further processing. If you'd like to find out more about Brenda and what happened next and her journey, keep watching this channel for further updates.
Un mes, sí. Ella. Bravo. Who can translate? Who can translate? Who can translate? She stole everything from me. And she's scoping me. I woke up 2 days later. I woke up 2 days later.
And Obiland had told me that he had found the girls that had drugged and robbed me. Was automatically, I was so surprised, but I was happy. I was like complete and honestly just relieved. After the girl got arrested, I did hear that she got extorted. I did get some sort of compensation back, but it's nothing in comparison to what I lost. I definitely got justice because, you know, I'm exposing them. I'm also spreading awareness, having people understand that this is something that happens, you know, so the judicial system here still has a long way to go. The process takes a little bit longer, but I know that now with the information that we served her and the investigation that I and Obiland did, justice will be served.
Not all our videos are monetized, and some have even been removed for being too real. And so if you like what we're doing, you can make a donation via Super Chat, PayPal, or buy me a coffee. If you've been affected by anything in this documentary, you can also book a consultation with us to get some advice.